Okay, so this is kind of a year-end review. Thought about doing this before, but never got around to it. But I thought it'd be cool to do like a year-end review of I guess the more defining moments of the year, because I always forget what we did that year. Like before I wrote it down on the sheet here, I pretty much forgot half of what I did this year. So anyways, just to go through a few points. At the start of the year, I got invited out by Scion to a VIP event to go check out the FRS, which still wasn't out at the time. What was it? Yeah, I filmed a video about it. If people watch my channel, which I doubt, it's on there. But basically, I got to go and check out the FRS before it had been released at the Canadian Auto Show, and go meet some of the like the president of Scion Canada and some of the technicians that were working on it, and had flown to Japan to test drive it before the car had even, I guess, been publicly announced. So it was a pretty cool event, and I felt really honored that they called me out of like a million people who were interested in the car. So that was really cool. After that, I mean, I went to the auto show again like the very next day because I had to bring Lydia, had to bring Vic, and I think it was just the three of us to go check out the FRS because at that point I was still going back and forth between buying it or not, basically. After that, what else did I do? I fixed up the coupe, the green 8.6 that I got. I fixed it up and got it ready for driving it on the track, which was the whole reason that I built it in the first place. I wanted to get it out to the track and maybe do some drift events or some lapping or something. Anyway, so I fixed that up, and it was a lot of work. I didn't actually write down all the things I did, but just to name a few, I fixed the speedometer, I fixed the brakes, replaced the calipers, fixed the water lines, the ignition issues, lots and lots of issues I fixed on that car. So that's just to name a few. Okay, so after the coupe, the next kind of cool event I did was I went to a Drift Ops event. It was like late spring, out at Shannonville Track, which is about a 3.5 hour drive from here. So I went up there with my buddy Greg and a couple other 8.6 guys, and near the end of the day, he ended up blowing the mounts that connect the rear end of the car to the chassis. Basically, the upper forelink mounts where they connect the chassis, they snapped right off. So basically, we were stranded, or he was stranded, really. I had brought my car, he brought his car. There was a few other 8.6s there, but we were shit out of luck. Basically, the only way to get the car back was a tow, and well, CAA only covers a 200-kilometer tow, and it was more than 200 kilometers to get to Toronto. Never mind to where we are here in Hamilton, and even further to get to Tillsonburg, which is where he is. So it just wasn't possible. So while we were freaking out about what we were going to do, a local guy just happened to come by and say, "Hey, I have a garage, I have a welder, why don't you bring it over and we'll just fix it on the spot." So we drove over to his place, which was just a little shop, and lifted up the car, and we re-welded the rear end, and drove home. It was insane. I made it sound like it wasn't a big deal, but it was crazy how it all went down. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that, but it was a really cool, just kind of like day. What else happened? Shortly after that, I got a call from Scion. They were doing test drives for the FRS. At that point, I had already put a down payment on the car, a deposit. So they called me up and said that I could come and test drive the car. So I got to do that. That was really cool. I was one of the first people to actually get to drive the car. They only had actually one FRS that was going around from dealership to dealership to dealership, and people were getting to drive it. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. After that, there was Anime North, which we go to every year, and it was a lot of fun. This year, Anime North was actually really good for a change. All the previous years, Anime North was like overcrowded, and well, it was starting to actually become not that enjoyable. Basically because of the crowds and a bunch of nonsense. But they actually improved it a lot this year, and Anime North was a lot of fun. I didn't really dress up, but I did take my 8.6, which is practically a costume. Everyone recognizes the Panda 8.6, and they all go nuts for it. After that was a big day. I finally got the FRS, which was really, really cool. I got the brand new car straight from Gunma, Japan, just for me. It's a first new car I ever bought. It was really cool. Anyways, after I got the FRS, not even a week later, I got another call from Scion that they were doing a track day for Scion FRSs, and that I could go there and basically drive their FRS on the track. So I went to the event, and it was really, really cool. Well, actually, what they were doing is they were filming a commercial for the FRS, and I got to be in it. I actually didn't even write that out on the paper, but I was in the FRS commercial this year. And anyway, so what happened? We went there. There was like 20 people, and they had it was out in Shannonville again, which was a long ass drive, but it was worth it. So we went out, and they had like 3 different stations. I think they had 6 or 7 FRSs there. They had 3 stations where you could test drive different aspects of the car. First was like a small like autocross type thing. You got to just drive the car, and you got to have an instructor ride shotgun with you. Then there was a slalom test, and then there was a brake test. And each one of the stations, they had a different car. You got to test drive right after the FRS or before the FRS to see how they compared. So on the autocross, they had the Civic, and then they had the FRS. So you got to drive the Civic around the track and feel how it leaned. Then you got to drive the FRS and feel how it compared. Then after that, there was the slalom, and that was they had the Genesis, and then they had the FRS, and you got to compare how they handled through the slalom. Then for the braking test, they had the FRS versus the Golf GTI. I think it's the Golf GTI. Excuse me. I'm actually sick right now, so. So yeah, that was really cool. I got to test out the car, and after each test you did, the media guys would come and interview you about what you thought about the car. So they actually got a snippet of my voice saying what I thought about the car, and it's in the commercial. It's really, really cool. At the end of the day, then they opened up the full track so we could do full lapping with the car. It was really something special, something that I'm sure I won't get to do again. After that was like June, I think. I didn't write any days down on this, but that's I think it was in June. After that, I got to track my car a couple times, the Green Coupe. All that hard work I had put into it over the past year paid off. I finally got to take my car to the track, and that was really cool as well. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot to say about it, other than it was friggin' awesome, and I'm looking forward to going next year. I've bought a whole bunch of performance parts. They're all in my kitchen. They're on the floor of my bedroom, and I'm gonna put them all in the coupe next year. Coilovers and other suspension parts and new wheels, just to improve the way the car handles. Maybe I'll get an LSD and I can drift it a bit too. Anyways, after that, I went to Con Bravo. I think that was late August or something. Again, I didn't write down the date. But at Con Bravo was Angry Video Game Nerd, and I got to meet him, and I got to get his autograph. Wait right there for a second. Where is it? here. I got a copy of Metal Gear autographed by the Angry Video Game Nerd because he did a video on the on Metal Gear for the NES. Anyways, that was something that was really cool. What else? Oh yeah, and then we did me and Lydia, we did the Wild Waterworks wedding competition. Basically a competition where you could have the chance to win a wedding. It was worth like 10 grand or something. And we did pretty good. We won at the physical competition, but it was like a three-stage competition. The first stage was you had to submit a video about like the couple. And me and Lydia submitted a video, and our video got a lot of likes. So we got pushed through to the next part of the competition, which was a physical challenge. And in the physical challenges, we placed it first. Then the last part was a popularity contest, basically, where they posted our videos on their Facebook, and people had to push like on which video they liked. And in that, we lost by like 100 votes. I think we had like 500 and something votes, and the winners had 690 or something like that. They had a lot of votes. So either way, it was a really cool experience. We also did this we tried to get people to vote for us by going to Fan Expo and like doing a little plug where we had a poster with like what's that called, QR code, where people could scan the QR code to try to like our video. Didn't work out as well as we had hoped, but it was cool. It was cool. After that, what do I got on here? I helped a few fellow 8.6ers with their swaps. Josh with his beam swap, Greg with his 20 valve swap. What else do I got here? Oh, this was another really cool thing. I got interviewed by Auto Guide. I think it was called Auto Guide. Some guy was doing an article on the A86, and he was looking for someone local that had an 8.6. So someone who knew me, just by chance, indirectly, gave him my name. And the guy contacted me and said he wanted to do an interview. So he came down to my place and he did a photo shoot of all my cars and had a bunch of questions, and we took the car out for a drive. He came in his FRS, and we lined up his FRS with my 8.6 and Lydia's 8.6, and did like a little mini photo shoot. He wrote an article on me. It's pretty cool. He actually wrote an article on me, and it's on Auto Guide. I'll probably post a link somewhere, but it's really cool. It's talking about how my passion for the car, and then he talks about the 8.6 in general. What else after that? We went to a few like retro video game swaps. That was kind of cool. Nothing really to say about it other than we went. I picked up some really cool games like GoldenEye and some old video games. What else? I'm right near the end of the list now. We went to Drift Ops again in the fall. This time Greg didn't have his 8.6 because it was still out of commission. He started doing his 20 valve swap after the first Drift Ops event. The swap still isn't done, so we took his Chrysidia, and that was fucking awesome. I posted a video on YouTube about it. It's not that exciting, but it's there. And then I fixed Victor's car many times. I fixed his heater core, fixed his caliper problems, and his latest issue, which is a blown head gasket. We're working on it right now. Just yesterday we bolted down his head, the new head. And then about a month ago, November 24th, me and Lydia got engaged. Woo! So, that's about it for my list. We celebrated Christmas about a week ago, and right now, today is not Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. And it's actually, let's see what time it is now. It is 11:11. So 49 minutes till New Year's, till 2013. So we better wrap this video up because we gotta actually celebrate New Year's. So, thanks for watching.